Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Brown's Latest. I'm Dave Grendzynski, but you could call me Grizzer. A lot of people do, and this is where we get you caught up on some of the latest news and tidbits that are tied to our favorite team in the NFL, the Cleveland Browns. Thank you to everybody who has liked our previous episodes, who has subscribed to the channel. We're that close to 12,000. Once we get to 12,000 subscribers, we hit that threshold. We changed the fit for just one show. We got the 12 jersey all set, ready to go for 12,000. We'll give the orange quarter zip a rest. Hopefully we can get there today. Let's get there today. We can quit talking about it. That would be nice. But I appreciate everybody who has already subscribed. Thank you so much. And all of you who get your comments down here in the viewer comment section. And this will be a viewer comment heavy show because there were so many good ones after the game yesterday. And typically after a loss, we have what we call a meltdown Monday. But today it's a mini meltdown Monday on the show. We also know for sure if Shedeur is our future quarterback or not. One of the storylines heading into the game against Pittsburgh this week has to do with who won't be on the field. And in the viewer comments, what people did not realize in the game against Buffalo. Buffalo. Oh, God, man, it would have been nice to win that game. But it's only going to be a mini meltdown. Mini meltdown Monday. Because, boy, did we have our chances. It just gets frustrating when you look at the stats. We had 22 first downs. They had 16. We had 8 passing first downs. They had 6. We had 12 rushing first downs. They had 10. As crazy as James Cook was running all over us in the first half, yeah. Third down efficiency, 8 for 14. So better than 50%. We ran 64 total plays compared to their 50 total plays. We had 294 total yards compared to their 259 total yards. We each had 10 total drives. And we had a better offensive performance than Buffalo. Yards per play, we averaged 4.6, them 5.2, but it was based on the defense that was in front of us. Shedeur was taking what they were giving, which is the sign of a veteran quarterback, is really what it is. He took what the defense gave him, and you had success. You had efficiency. The other thing, time of possession. You know, we held the ball for 11 more minutes today. Did 35-23. They had it for 24-37. So offensively, we did a lot of great things. And that's why it's only a mini meltdown. It's like, the meltdown is because we just didn't get it done at the end. And the meltdown is because that field goal was huge. The special teams always comes back to haunt us, and always some crazy trickeration play. You know, the play. There's always a play call in there that really just upends a lot of things. But I have to say this about the play calling. As much as I want to melt down about that, I mentioned this yesterday. It's only a mini meltdown because it really felt like Stefanski was not involved in these play calls. I wonder if he got involved with the trickeration, the nonsense at the end there. But it really felt like we were watching an NFL offense there, especially in the first half. I still don't like the fact that we don't seem to make adjustments in the second half at all. I still don't like that. But you can't argue with the efficiency and what the offense put up. So that's it. I'm not going full-fledged meltdown today. And here's a big reason why. Everybody's wondering, is Shedeur the future? And I'm here to tell you, one 1,000,000% Shedeur is the future. Why? Take a look at this. Next gen stats. So yesterday, Shedeur versus the Bills, his average time to throw 2.89 seconds, the lowest he's had in his 5 games. The lowest, 2.89. He averaged 2.2 air yards, also his lowest, but again, he was taking what the defense was giving him. They were giving those short passes, and he had some running lanes, and he took advantage of that too. He ended up being the leading rusher. 48.4% success rate on offense. It's the highest we've had all season. What more can you ask for? 20 of 29, 157 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, and then the 4 rushes for 49 yards. He was not the reason we lost. He's the reason we were in this game, though. For 100%. He was the reason. Led that drive in the third quarter, got us right back into it. And there's somebody who I really respect who agrees with me, Coach Riz. Lance Reisland from Cleveland.com. He breaks down the film. For Cleveland.com, he broke down the film, and this is what he said. He said there were some goods and some bads from Sanders, but I truly thought he did a great job stepping up in the pocket, taking the checkdowns, and using his feet to pick up key first downs. That's continued growth and exactly what you'd want to see. So is Shedeur Sanders the future? You bet he is, 100%. And he even talked about it after the game. That was the big thing he wanted to work on going into this week was checking down when he needed to. And you know, you could see some of those shots from behind the line of scrimmage. You could see that. I mean, every defensive back was just dropping back to the deep middle and the deep thirds. They were taking that away. They were not going to let Shedeur beat them with any long passes, and they were going to take their chance with that intermediate game. And Shedeur was just taking it, and it was so successful. And I just read you the stats. I mean, you can't argue with that. And he said that's the aspect of his game that he's got to be more consistent, is taking those checkdowns. And the thing is, the 2 interceptions, like we mentioned yesterday, were both on good decisions. He made the great decision to check down to Judkins. He just put a little too much mustard on it. You know, and Judkins he's a running back first, not a receiver first. So a wide receiver probably makes that catch. You know, but a running back with his back, he's got his back to him, and he's turning around, and the ball's already in the air. That's a tough ask for Judkins, and of course it takes a Buffalo bounce, and you know it turns into an interception. And same thing with Bosa makes a great play, leaps into the air and bats that ball straight up in the air. Of course, any other team probably bats it straight down, but for us, bats it straight up into the air and turns into an interception. What are you going to do? But you can see the improvement with Shedeur week to week. With Dillon Gabriel, who got everything from OTAs all the way through the first 8 games, 9 games of the season. He got everything. The reps, the joint practices, all of it. And all he did week to week was get worse. Worse and worse and worse. He had the support of the head coach. He's the head coach's pet. Handpicked, 3rd round draft pick we wasted on this guy. And I feel bad for Gabriel. Like I keep saying, like it's not, I don't hate Gabriel personally or anything like that. I mean, but I hate the situation he was put in by Kevin Stefanski. Kevin Stefanski's offense is just a complete joke. And that's why looking at looking at the numbers and everything that they did yesterday, I don't think Stefanski was involved at all. I think this was Tommy Rees. This is going to be another 30 for 30. Who was in control of the offense during the Bills game? Because it sure didn't look like a Kevin Stefanski offense. It looked like an NFL offense to me. So, there's no need to waste a pick on a quarterback, an unknown quarterback. Take everything Shedeur is doing at the end of this year, and then give him everything heading into training camp next year and in the preseason and everything. Let him be we've got it. And just keep building on this and go. Get a coach in here that supports him. Get an offensive line in here that can help him. Get a wide receiver he can throw to. Just keep building around him. We've already got the foundation. Just keep moving forward because Shedeur Sanders is the future, like I've been telling you for weeks. Now, heading into the Pittsburgh game, the storylines, Quinshon Judkins, that dislocated ankle, broken fibula. They're talking about a 5-month recovery, which he'll be ready to go for spring practice. So, according to even 6 months, he's going to be ready to go, and they'll ease him in. They know what he can do. They'll make sure he's healthy, but he'll be ready for next year. That we don't have to worry about that. This isn't like an Achilles or anything like that where, you're talking about a 12-month recovery process. He'll be back. He'll be back. So. The question here now is, is Dylan Sampson going to be ready to go? Can he handle the load against Pittsburgh? And can the Browns defense get their run defense back together for an entire game? They were great in the second half. They made the adjustments they needed to make. Took them a couple of quarters against Buffalo to finally shore it up, but we're going to need a complete effort against Pittsburgh on Sunday. The other storyline is Shedeur just continuing to grow. And then the other thing is this. There's no way DK Metcalf will be playing in this game. Did you guys see what he did during that game? He punched a Detroit fan during the game. He somehow stayed in that game yesterday. But that video is so telling. There is no way he is not. He will be 100% suspended. If not just, maybe not just for the Browns game too. So they're not. Aaron Rodgers is not going to have DK Metcalf to throw to. So that helps us. And so I already feel we are going to beat Pittsburgh. There is this team. They lucked into that win against Detroit. They are not good. They're just not good. Myles Garrett's going to how great is it going to be? He's going to set the record against Pittsburgh. We are going to completely dominate them at home come Sunday. Did I already just do the bold prediction? Is this the earliest bold prediction of ever? I think it is. I don't think I've ever had a bold prediction on a Monday. Usually I wait till at least Wednesday. But no. We are going to destroy Pittsburgh, and DK Metcalf won't be there. How great is that? Wait, stay classy, Pittsburgh. Way to go, Metcalf. Nice. Punching a fan in the stands. Unbelievable. All right, I told you, heavy viewer comments, so let's get to them. We'll start with Bad Mama C, who says, seems like a win-win. We're seeing what we need from Shedeur while preserving draft position. Yeah, and here's the thing. I think that the way Andrew Berry likes to make trades, we're third right now. If we stay there, and there are some quarterback-hungry teams who want to move up, and I think Barry will wheel and deal. That's the beauty of having Shedeur now. You don't have to worry about any of that. You can wheel and deal and get some draft picks. And, the unknowns are this. It's who will be the head coach, who will be the offensive coordinator. Will Jim Schwartz still be the defensive coordinator? Will Jim Schwartz be the head coach? Who will it be? And they're going to lean into Shedeur, and then you're going to have to get a wide receiver, Cardell Tate. You're going to have to get, it's the lineman, but you're going to have to get, I'd say that left tackle from Alabama, he's a good one. So there's still there's a lot of unknowns, even though we have the quarterback situation figured out. Tannig 21's Shop 22. Tannig's 21's Shop 22. We are currently third in the draft order. Sanders looks good. Kind of a win-win with the loss. Again, I agree. It's a win-win. That's why it's only a mini meltdown today. There's no full-fledged meltdown needed. Mini meltdown. That's it. Mini. Because, yeah, it is a win-win. LL Cool Jack 44. Not LL Cool J. Going back to Cali. Not that LL Cool Jack. It's LL Cool Jack 44 says, He doesn't think Shedeur has done enough. He says, but the offense playbook stinks. Yeah, that's the other thing with Shedeur. Like, he's playing for a coach that doesn't want him. He didn't get any preparation before the season. Somebody made a good point. I did a TikTok live after the game, and somebody said, Dylan Gabriel got all of the prep work for the final exam. Got all the study groups and study sheets and extra sessions with the teacher and all this stuff, and Shedeur went right to the final exam. That's it. And that's really the situation we're in. And so, he's been fighting uphill this whole time. And so everybody, I can't get through a week without saying, boy, oh boy, could you imagine where Shedeur would be if he would have gotten everything that Gabriel got before the season started? But again, I digress. Charles D. Ward, 5216. Do people not realize, this is what we teased at the top, do people not realize that this team against Buffalo was fully of rookies and still played a possible championship team? Did folks believe that a rookie team was going to beat Buffalo? If you did, give me some of what you're smoking. Well, Charles D. Ward, I wasn't smoking anything, but I'm the guy that told you they were going to win 27-24. I'm the guy that told you to take the points. I'm the guy that told you it was going to be way closer than what the experts were thinking. You could see it. And it all hinged on whether or not we could get the running game going, and we did. And I said 27-24, and we were, I was like, oh, here we go. Let's go. We're going to win this thing 27-23. I'm going to look like a genius. Well, they still covered. I told you to take the points. I told you Shedeur was going over his rushing yards. I told him he'd go over 25 rushing yards. He did. So Fannin had a good game, even though, the thing is, like, the last 3 to 6 games, well, Buffalo, they haven't been strong against tight ends. Everybody keeps talking about how tough they are on tight ends, but I don't know. They were saying, but proved them wrong on that too. So Harold Fannin Jr. seems to be one of those guys who is indefensible. Is that the way to say that? Just like Kelsey back in the day and Gronk and all those guys where you knew the ball was going to him, but nobody could stop him. Good handle coming up. Blowing by the Oz. Blowing by the Oz. Is that Wizard of Oz? Ozzie Newsome? Is that what Oz? Blowing by the Oz says Browns had a chance to win this game. Losing by 3 is a win by Cleveland Browns standards. Well, I mean, yeah. We don't like moral victories, but it's more about the effort they gave. They matched the intensity. Shedeur took a step forward. The defense got it together for the second half. So yeah, there were tons of positive. We let Shedeur outplayed Josh Allen. We led every offensive statistical category. We just read them off to you. So yeah, there's a lot to celebrate, but the bottom line is we didn't get the win. Why? Special teams didn't help. And even though the play calling was about 90% pretty good, there were still a couple in there that hurt us big time. Tiki on pause says, Bond is becoming known to other teams as a deep threat, which is a good thing. Yeah. You could just see them. They were taking away the deep thirds all game, especially deep middle. And so they did not want to get beat deep. For sure, and Isaiah Bond had. Now, I would still like to see Isaiah Bond be involved a little more. I'd like to see us design more plays for him. Like we ran that jet sweep with Corley a couple times. He's got some hop to him. But I'd like to see some of that with Bond or some of those slip screens, things like that. Like get the ball in his hands in space. That's one of the facets of this offense that's missing right now. Is Isaiah Bond. Like, we went through all this trouble to get him, and then we don't use him. Again, this is what I'm talking about, the play calls. And this is what I'm saying. There are still gaping holes in this offense and the structure. Mr. Brownie God, 2580. Special teams lost this game. Yeah, I mean, they didn't really lose it like they lost the Cincinnati game, but they had a big part in it. Again, in Ventrone. Like, it just makes no sense. It just doesn't make any sense how this guy kept his job all season long. He cost us games. Costing us games. But I will say this, Andre Schmidt, we talked about it a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, I think he's kind of calmed the kicking situation down. So cutting Dusty Hopkins loose turns up. And how Dusty Hopkins, I mean, like, people needed kickers, and I don't see him getting, unless I missed it, is he with somebody that I don't know about? But anyway, Andre Schmidt has solidified his role going forward. So we have a quarterback and a kicker. So that's good. So good job, Holy Schmidt. Way to bounce back after that horrendous start against Cincinnati. Studio One, create today, 1173. Kevin Stefanski, this is a headline. Kevin Stefanski fails to rally the Browns versus Josh Allen and the Bills. After a missed field goal and that BS trick play instead of a field goal cost the Browns the game. Yeah, and I thought too, and I think I can't remember if I mentioned this on the TikTok Live or if I mentioned it on the instant reaction video. But that time when we settled for the field goal, that third down play we ran, we were on like the 20, whatever we were, the 22 to 20, whatever yard line we were on, and we threw that swing pass we got tackled for a loss. We lost like 3-4 yards on it. I'm like, why are we throwing behind us, like the line of scrimmage, when we're close enough to even take a shot at the end zone? I thought we should have been taking a shot on that. At least going, I mean, you got to at least throw to the marker. You got to get the down and distance. But we're throwing behind it. We call a play to throw behind the line of scrimmage. You call it a swing screen. That's what I'm saying. Like, there were still some play calls mixed in there where I'm like, what are we doing? Like, especially the one after, like, the first down when we dropped Shedeur back. The one on what would have been the game-winning drive, and he took that first sack. He had no chance because the offensive line can't block that long pass protection. We've been talking about it all year. But yeah, it's still, some things never change. And we will end today with Cheryl Holder, 3113, who says, grown, talking about Shedeur. Shedeur is very hard on himself. He critiques himself harder than anyone. And you can see it, like, week to week. Like, if there's a whatever he struggles with the week before, he fixes it the next week. And so it's all you can ask at this point. I mean, he's learning and growing. There's going to be some growing pains. He's learning and growing, and he's going to be better for it. And I brought up Caleb Williams yesterday, and I'm looking at Caleb Williams. Look at where he has come now at the end of his second year, And look at Jordan Love, and look at Nix and May and all these guys. Like they're into their second years is when they really start to take off. So just be patient. The beauty of Shedeur is he's an NFL quarterback. Dylan Gabriel is not. We have a quarterback, folks. That's the bottom line. And we're going to beat Pittsburgh this week. It is Pittsburgh week, and we are going to beat them. I can't wait for Metcalf to get suspended. If it hasn't all happened already, that is going to happen without a question. Without question. So there'll be no DK Metcalf, and old man Rodgers is going to be sacked by Myles Garrett like 3 or 4 times. It's going to be fun to watch us beat down Pittsburgh this week. All right. Thanks for joining us. Whew. Hey, beating Pittsburgh and Cincinnati in the season will be great. That'd be fine by me, man. Because no matter what, people are gonna want our draft pick. They're gonna trade up to get it. So we have our quarterback. We don't need to worry about any of that. So it's nice. It's nice to go into a draft not worrying about a quarterback. Thank goodness. Go Browns! We'll see you next time.